Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. This is V of Art of Wigs with V, and I'd like to talk to you about a subject today that is pretty pertinent to Frannies Hair retailer. I mean, it has to do with returns and what consists of making it still eligible for return. There's been a lot of questions about it on our Facebook group, and I would like to clarify some things for you today. So I'm going to start from start to finish on receiving a box and with a wig in it, opening it, and what I can and cannot do to help me make the decision about whether or not I'm going to keep it. So right now the box is in my lap, okay, and I have opened it. It comes in a cardboard box like this, shipped to you. It is a Tress-Allure wig, and it's going to look backwards in the camera. I'm sorry about that. So it's in here in a box, in its own box, with paper to stuff it. So first and foremost, I'm going to remove it from this box. I'm going to save this box, though, because if I needed to return it, I need to return it in a shipping box. So I'm going to hang on to this box and the stuffing that came in it, because that would be my box of return. Now, this is what the box itself looks like for Tress-Allure. It's a white box. It opens in this manner. And looks like this. Has a lovely piece of tissue over it. Some of the tissue that comes over them, they're not even as thick as this one. So, but you have to be very careful about that you don't wrinkle this when you're opening up this, if there's a possibility that you're going to return it and want it to be fully eligible for a refund or a replacement, or just eligible for return in general. I have to adjust my camera just a little bit. There we go. It's a little, kind of keeps slipping on me. Sorry guys, you know that my videos are they just are what they are. I don't do a lot of editing. So you're going to open it very carefully like this, and see it's kind of bent over a little bit to go down there in the front. I'm going to carefully open it in this manner, and then it shows the wig inside. The wig is encased in a cardboard curve. Normally, most wigs will come and they will be bobby pinned into that piece of cardboard. They're quite hard to get the bobby pin off because it's a large bobby pin. But you have to do that in order to get the wig out. Now, this is the second Tress-Allure wig I've gotten, and the first one did not have any bobby pins. It wasn't bobby pinned in at all. So I've checked around with this, around this one, around the edge here to see. You have to excuse my dog barking. I have somebody that is installing a garage door, and she's barking every time they hammer. I'm sorry. I'm going to pause 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm back. Okay, so this one doesn't have any bobby pins in it either. Now, if you get a wig and it has bobby pins in, you're going to have to remove them in order to take the wig out. So when you do that, do it carefully. But if you have to return it, don't try to put the bobby pins back into the wig and put them on this cardboard, because it's really hard to do. I checked this out with Frannie. She said not to do that. Just to put the bobby pins in the bottom of the box. Don't even try to hook the wig back in those bobby pins, because that's just going to mess up the cardboard, and sometimes it even messes up the fibers of the wig. So don't worry about it. In the bottom of the box only for the bobby pins, okay? So now I'm going to take it out. I have, by the way, washed my hands so that they are totally free of oils, makeup, anything else that I would have on my hands, because anything like that, a fragrance even, will transfer into the fibers of this hair. It's going to change it. There's going to be an odor. To return it, it can't have any odors in it. It can't have any smoke smell. It can't have any perfume smell. It cannot have any products that have been used in it. That's just part of it. So let's get it out, always with clean hands. And whenever you put on one of your wigs and it's clean and it's fresh, and you're going to style it, make sure your hands are washed and clean, just to not transfer those oils from your hands and your skin. That can be natural oils, they don't have to be lotions, into the hair, because that helps heat-friendly wigs especially stay nicer longer. So we're going to take it out of this, and you're going to hang on to this box. I'm going to lay this down for a second. It's in a hairnet, because back here is a little something you need to know about. In most wig boxes with wigs, there's going to be this little nylon cap. Now, the nylon cap is not for you to wear under the wig every day when you wear the wig. Those are not comfortable, and they will feel like they're going to pop off. They're only put in there for hygienic purposes, for you to put on, to try the wig on, to keep oils from your scalp and etc. going into the base of the wig, into the cap. So you need to open this up and you need to put it on. And your grip can actually go over it. But let's lay it down for a second. I'm just going to close this up very carefully so that I don't wrinkle any of this tissue. Shut the box over. I'm going to set it inside the shipping box so that I have both of them in case I need to return this wig. The wig that I'm going to talk to you about and try to show you how do I decide whether or not I'm keeping it is Tressallur's Trend in the color 5660 R8. Now, there are quite some things you can do to make that decision. There are quite a few things that you cannot do. So always, from whatever retailer you get your wig from, go in before you order a wig and read the return policy so that you're aware of what you can and can't do when it gets here. Don't read it after the fact. Read it before the fact, before you even decide to order. Now, we're going to carefully remove the hairnet. We're going to hang on to that hairnet because we're going to want to put it back if we are going to return this wig. And the wig is going to have tissue paper in it. And I'm just removing it and putting it over here to the side. There are about 3 pieces in it. It's also going to have a hang tag on it, which, good heavens, it just fell off in my hand. Now, I can't do anything about that, but you normally don't want to take this off. But if it fell off like this, there's nothing I can do. I will just have to send it back if I'm going to send it back that way and explain that it fell off. Now, some people have told me that they can take the hang tag off and they can just put it back on. Nobody knows the difference. Well, I'm here to tell you they do know the difference. It's not that hard to figure out that somebody took the hang tag off. That's why I'm just going to tell them the truth. I'm not going to attempt to put it back on myself. It wasn't on. It must have been, it just came loose. It is what it is. So here it is. Here's Trend. I'm going to look at it all the way around on all the sides when I get it with my hand inside it. See, do I like that color? It's kind of my color. So that's a plus. Does look kind of on the stringy side, as I seem to have remembered some relatively large wig retailer dubbing it the spaghetti wig, sadly. But I think it's got possibilities. But let's try it on and see what we're going to come up with. Now I'm going to lay it down on a clean surface right now because I want to attempt to put on that nylon cap. I just do not know where I laid it. Maybe it's in the box. Hang on. I'll find what I did with it. Okay, here it is. I have it. I took it out of the little plastic. Sure is not very big, is it? Look at how small that is. Can you imagine trying to wear that every single day under a wig? And it has a closed top on it. This isn't going to be fun, but I'm going to do what it wants us to do, and that's in there to put it on our head for hygienic purposes, to keep it clean from anything we have in our hair or on our scalp in case it needs to be returned and put into a clearance section or an open box section. So I'm going to take my hair off, and I'm going to take my grip off. I'm going to put this on my not so existing hair. Ugh, tight. I look like I could go rob a bank, right? Anyway, I'm not going to. I'm going to pull it up here to my hairline. Now, so do you see how that's going to nicely cover my own hair so that the next person that gets this isn't even going to have had the cap of the inside of this wig, if I return it, have touched my scalp and my hair. That's all this is for. And you can lay it in the bottom of the box when you send it back. So when you buy one that is clearance or open box, it may not have that nylon cap in it because those can't be returned anyway. So there's no need for them. Now, to make sure that I get the proper fit, I'm going to put my grip on just over this. Fix it in the dent under the occipital bone, and I'm ready to try her on. Oh, I am ready to try her on with the exception of one thing. And that is that I need to make sure my face is clean. Now, many people say, don't try on your new wig until you have a full face of makeup on, because it'll look vastly different. Now, that's not always true. How many of you don't wear makeup? I mean, some people don't wear makeup every single day. I don't wear makeup every single day. I may stick a wig on my head and go to the grocery store, and I may have on no makeup on my face. So I think I have to look halfway decent in it, whether I have makeup on or not. So I think that's kind of, I'm looking for something off to the side while I talk. I think that's kind of making some people feel like, well, I can't wear wigs because I don't wear makeup. Then apparently you've got to wear makeup and look like you're decked all out in order to be able to pull off wig wearing. That's just not true. Have your face the way you normally would have your face. If you think you feel better putting some makeup on, put some on. But if you don't wear makeup, try it on without makeup. But I'm also going to tell you a caveat in having a full face of makeup. The return policy states that there's not supposed to be any foundation or product in the hair and on the lace front, if it has a lace front. Now, if you've got a full face of makeup, chances are you're going to have makeup, at least on the lace. Now, I've even found some little elements of blush when my hair touches the sides of my face. And I wear it several times, maybe, and between washings. And there it is. So what I'm going to tell you to do is that if you feel you must have makeup on to try on a wig, is that you remove it in certain areas where that hair would be touching. Sorry, I have something flying around my head. I hope it's not a bee. I hate bees. I mean, I love what they do for us, but I don't like them flying around my head. Anyway, so I'm going to recommend that you use Neutrogena or some kind of makeup remover wipes and wipe the areas that you think the wig will possibly be touching. I have makeup on, so I'm going to remove it up here where I know the lace is going to touch. I'm just going to rub it in all the way down to the sides. I have some foundation there, and look at what I got off. I also have some blush there because I put blush on these edges of my head. So I want to make sure that's all off and this is coming off clean. And I'm going to go down here because this is a wig that hangs down the side, I'm going to wipe it off down here. Look what I'm getting. And no, it's not a bee, it's an ugly fly. So he's going to have to share the video with me. Now, is this going to extremes? I don't think so. Because how many of you would like to think you got a really great bargain on a wig that's clearanced or in an open box, and then when you get it home, you find someone else's foundation in the lace front or on the undersides of the hair, especially if it's a really light color, like a white or a light blonde. It can have colored foundation or makeup, and the hair can look like it's tinted a funny little color on the edges, because sometimes people have put this wig on multiple times in the process of trying to make their decision of whether or not they're going to send it back. So get it off there. This has bangs. This wig has bangs. I know that. It has a full bang. I'm just going to take all my makeup off my forehead. You're going to see me practically barefaced here. So once I feel sufficiently that I have enough makeup off the areas that it's going to touch, then I will try it on. I need to find my glasses for 1 second. Now I'm using the Neutrogena individual makeup remover wipes. They come in a little package. They're really great to carry with you because you can also remove foundation from your lace front when you take your wig off at night. Reduces you having to wash it. Just to do that. But don't wipe it, put it makeup on and wipe it off a wig you're going to send back, because you can damage the lace. You have to wipe very gently. Just wipe your head and be kind about it. Going without a little bit of that makeup is not going to change the way this wig looks on you. So now I'm about ready to try this on. But first I want to look at the inside of it. I want to examine it for defects. I tend to hold it up to the light, so the light of my window is shining through it. You can't see me. But I can look on the inside and I can see, are there any gaps in the wefts? This is a total monofilament top and a lace front. So I can see if there are unusual looking widths between the wefts, which could indicate that something is improperly sewn, which would be a manufacturer defect. I'm going to look at the ear tabs and feel of them. They look to be sewn properly. This one has a little piece of the fabric sticking out on it. Just a little tiny piece. Nothing I would send it back for. I just know that I might have to get a little more magnification and I might have to trim that little teeny piece back. So here it is. Now I'm going to turn it inside out. Take a gander carefully with my hand inside at the monofilament top, all along that seam. Is it properly sewn on? Does this look like it's attached well? Does the edge of the lace look like it's fraying anywhere, or that is a problem? Those would be manufacturer defects and a reason to send it back. I had one time that was not quite totally sewn right back here. I didn't send it back. I just stitched it. But that's a decision you have to make. It would be a manufacturer defect, and they would send you a different wig if you wanted the same one. But let's go to the part of, I wrote myself a few notes, okay, just let me consult them. We're going to put it on now for fit. And I'm going to look at where are the ear tabs. They're right where they were when they came out of the box. They're pretty much out. They can still go out further. Can come way out here. See how much more I moved them out? Okay. But I'm going to put it back where it was and see how's that going to fit on me. There are 3 tags in a Tressallure wig in the back. You can't remove those either. Nor the hang tag, remember that. So I've taken this makeup off here because when I dive into a wig, my lace goes like this in the middle of my forehead. Then I pull it by the nape over my back and seat it right on my grip with any extended nape hanging below the grip. I pinch the stays in if it has stays in the back, and this has very nice stays. It has an extended velvet nape. It has lace ear tabs. I'm going to get those in the right place, yes, before I move it up to my hairline and I bent the stays in. Now I'm going to come up here and very carefully look in the mirror at myself on that lace front. It's down too far, yes, but I can still tell whether I think it looks natural. I definitely think it looks natural. So I'm going to want to pull it up. Now this came with this kind of a quasi middle part, which is not really good on me because, I don't know, it takes a certain kind of face to wear a middle part. When they can, it's gorgeous, but not on me. But it has, I remember in my head, and when I just looked at it, that it has a full monofilament top and a lace front. That means I can part this anywhere I want, but I can't part it and style it to make that decision before I send it back. But I have to know in my head that I can change that, okay? So I'm remembering that. So my bangs don't have to be down here coming into my eyes like they are. If I wanted a full bang, I could trim them a little. I'd watch a YouTube video to see how to do that if I didn't know. And I'm going to feel of the hair just gently. It's very silky and very soft. The fit, right where the adjusters were on that, fits me extremely well. I have a whole thumb's length that I could move in further. And I have about, probably with this cap on and this grip on, I probably have a 21-inch circumference instead of 20.75. And I gained a little bit of weight, so I used to be 20.5 with the grip. So it feels like it's fitting me fine, but I want to go up here first, make sure I move this into place. I'm not going to pull at the lace. I'm going to go up in here and pull the top up. I have to look in a mirror off to the side here, so just excuse me for a minute. There we go, because I have a widow's peak. You can see it there. I'm going to let that hair go back down the way it was. So now, what do I think of it? I think the fit is great. I could move the adjusters out more. It definitely would fit a 21-inch and smaller. Would it fit a 22? Probably. Would it fit a 23? I would question whether or not it would fit a 23-inch head because there's probably not more than a couple of inches to move the adjusters out to the edge. Okay, so I've evaluated it for fit. It fits me. I like the color. I know I can change the part. What else about it's bothering me? Well, it's pretty flat on the top. A lot of wigs are very flat on the top when you get them, especially with the monofilament top or a hand-tied top, because you can't put any permatease in those. However, I know that I can create lift in the top because I'm only 5'1". I have a small face that's only 7 inches from hairline to here. I need a little bit of height. I know how to do that by using John Renault Pea Silk Cream on my finger rubbing it in until it warms up and going in there at that root and making little circles all over and getting this hair off its cap. Plus, this looks stringy, thus the people calling it the spaghetti wig. But if you feel the fibers, it doesn't have to stay that way. They just didn't shake it out. They just didn't fluff up the fibers and make it what it could be. The people who said that. Now, does it look, I'm going to evaluate it for this. I know I can add lift now. I know I can change the part. It fits fine. Do I like the length? Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Maybe you won't. You have to make that decision. But I only have a 3-inch neck, 7-inch face. Now, my circumference, it fits. My ear to ear, where's it? I can reach up there and feel for that because my ear to ear is only 11.5. As per normal every wig, it's sitting down on top of where my ear, and I can show you without it making it non-returnable, on top of my ear. I know that I can just take my finger and scooch that up all around my ears to make room for my glasses. Now, does it look like I'm wearing it, or does it look like it's a hat sitting on my head? And this is a biggie for almost every wig that we get that has these kind of kinky curls to it, or beachy waves. They have a tendency to look like you can see through the back, right through it, and they sit away from the face here. So to me, they look like we're not wearing it, or it's not growing out of our head. It looks like a hat sitting on our head. So is there a way to figure out how to make it not look like that? Because that makes it look more wiggy. Yes, there is. And I'm going to show you what that is. I go up in here underneath the nape, at the very under hair of the nape. And I use my ends of my fingers. If you have long fingernails, you're not going to want to do that, but you're going to try to use your fingers only and pull some of the underneath hair from the nape down and toward the front of your neck to the side, and keep working your way up around the edge of the wig, doing that all the way up over your ears, up on the sides, and up into here, and just moving that hair that is very underneath hair closer to your face, covering your sideburns. Now, I haven't styled the wig. I haven't brushed it. I haven't combed it. I haven't changed the part. I haven't put any product in it. I haven't shaken it. These are all things you cannot do and return it and make it be completely returnable. But I already know, based on what I know about myself, that the things that would concern me, I can play with it and make it work. Now, like I said, you have to go in and you have to read the return policy. You can't just put it on, have makeup possibly getting in it, do all these things to it. Pre-read that return policy. I could check my notes again and make sure I'm not missing something to tell you. So, feeling for permatease, you can do that too. So maybe you think permatease is your enemy. I don't. This depends on where it's at and how much of it there is. So I'm going to go in here because the monofilament top, they can't put any permatease in it. So I know it's got to be, if there's any in here, it's got to be on the sides, at the root, right where the monofilament top ends. Is there some? Yes. Not a lot, but there's just enough to give this shape that it needs. Otherwise, it would just go really flat. Go around here. There's none here. There's none in the back. Just a little teeny bit on the crown area in here, beyond the monofilament. Because I have such a small head, I also have to check for, is the cap fitting me in the crown? Meaning, do I have a lot of excess cap up here? So I can go in here with my hand and I can grab not just hair, but I'm feeling to grab wefts gently. If I can pull out about 4 wefts, I mean just easily by pinching like this, then I know that's too big on me. I'm going to have to either decide to keep it and alter the cap, or I need to send it back. That's not what it's doing on me. The most I get is maybe 2 wefts. And I only have 11.5 from here to here and 11.5 from here to here. Monofilament tops help when you have a smaller head because there isn't a lot of stretch here, but there'll be stretch all through this open wefting and on the circumference of many wigs. So far I'm liking everything about this. I think I can do a lot with it. I do not think I have to return it. If I did have to return it, knowing this tag fell off, I would just enclose a note and say, I'm really sorry, but as soon as I took it out of the box, the tag actually dropped off. It's always best to be honest rather than try to fix something, because they know how to put it back on and you didn't damage it. It just fell off. I think maybe the little knot came untied or something. I don't know. But anyway, just remember that there are many things that you can do to evaluate whether or not a wig is going to work on you. I've shown you some of them and talked about some of them. And if I decided that I didn't like this, I didn't want it, I need to take it off my head. I need to very carefully fold it like it was, put the tissue back inside it like it was, carefully put the hairnet over it so the hair isn't all messed up or anything, just kind of smoothed down. Lay it inside its little cradle in the box, and I would put the bobby pins, if it had any bobby pins in it, underneath it before I put it in. Would not try to put them back. I would also put the little cap that I have on my head back in this little plastic bag and leave it open. So then whoever gets it in returns knows that you wore it. They're probably going to want to take it out because you had it on your head before they put it in open box or clearance. Because those wigs are sold at a deeply discounted price, but they're not returnable. So someone doesn't need that to put on it. But they do need this to keep the hair down and keep it from getting flyaways. So make sure that's back on the wig. Put it on as gently as you can. Lay it back in the box the way it was. Put it back in your shipping box and go on frannieshair.com under About for returns, and it will walk you through how to do it from there. I hope this was helpful. I hope that I covered everything that we need to cover on how does it stay eligible for return, but yet let you help you to figure out whether it's going to work for you without you being able to actually style it or put product in it. Now, if you want to see what I did to trend after, what I do to it, after I've evaluated it and decide I'm going to keep it, then watch my video review of Trend and how I styled her and what I did with her. You'll see that she looks quite a bit different. Thank you for coming. If you have questions about any of this and returns, just contact customer service at Frannies Hair and they will walk you through, when you get your wig even, what you can and can't do with it. You take care and happy hair hunting. Be blessed. And I thank you for coming today. Catch me in the next one, because the next one is styling Trend. And I think she's right up my alley. After I get done V'ing her up a little. Be blessed.